welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. There's all kinds of family. We chose this one. This is episode 357, Life in the Fast Lane. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe, too.
And Joe, before we go any further, serious omission on our parts, voting now open.
Open.
The Too Fast, Too Forever Hall of Fame.
Vote or die. That's the rules. That's what... Oh, never mind. I don't think we could say vote or die anymore, right?
What kind of American are you? That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, that was always the Diddy thing, so...
Oh, man. We've lost so much.
We've come so far and gained so little.
We are going to announce the winners on the Fastivus Special 2024, which comes out on June 22. I voted. You voted. I have not looked at... I looked at what you and I voted for, and there was... So, okay. CageClub.me/vote. Vote for the bracket. Vote early, vote often if you want. We used to have 25 options, vote for 10. We dropped all movies. Movies gone, off the ballot forever. So instead of voting for 10...
Done.
Now voting for 8. I looked at our voting, you and me, and we had about half, I think, that were overlapping, and half that were not.
That makes sense.
But I didn't look at what was what.
Yeah. I think you can guess which we overlap in and which we don't, probably.
So,
yeah.
CageClub.me/vote. We will announce on the Fastivus Special, which we will record a day or two before. But you basically have, depending on when you're listening to this, how you're listening to this, 2 or 3 weeks to vote. CageClub.me/vote. It's going to take you 30 seconds, if that. Just click.
Mine was like milliseconds, literally, yeah.
Milliseconds. I mean, thousands of milliseconds, but still milliseconds, nonetheless. CageClub.me/vote, please, and thank you. We are also, this is the first in a series of minute breakdown episodes where we're doing the Too Fast, Too Furious deleted scenes. And so this one, the official title, I think this is from the John Singleton in the Editor's Bay conversation with the editor. The name for this deleted scene we are talking about today, Joe, is Brian and Tanner, not Tanner, on rooftop of customs building.
So did you really think we wouldn't find you? Well, why'd you let him go? In L.A., I mean.
You wouldn't understand.
It's pretty common, really. An agent goes dark on their first undercover job. It's a little bit of Stockholm Syndrome.
You got the woman at the races.
What?
You got the woman at the race. Damn. I knew she didn't belong there.
Well, you still think like a cop.
So what do you want?
Makes you think I want something.
Because she was scouting me, and instead of arresting me, you and I are standing on a rooftop.
I want you to drive.
So I don't know if I typoed that or if that was what they said, but it's Bilkins. It's not Tanner.
That's very, very true. I didn't even think about it until you just pointed it out. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I read it. I read the title, Brian and Tanner.
And I very much made sure that this was the right scene. It is the right scene because
it
we
is
covered
the right
all
scene.
of these
it's
in
on
the
the
Missing
customs
Pieces
building.
lab.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Tanner. It's Bilkins. So in this minute, which is a minute.
Maybe, possibly, it was meant to be Tanner and it changed, or maybe I don't know. Who knows?
We're not rewatching the John Singleton stuff. We covered that in the Missing Pieces lap. We talked about all these scenes once already. So in this scene, which is just about a minute long, Bilkins uncuffs Brian on a windy rooftop. As Brian presses for information about Dom, he then acts moody and walks away. Bilkins.
It's a good word. He acts moody and walks away. Nice.
Ever the professional, knows all too well what happened. He's seen it before. Brian, overlooking the water, proves he's still thinking like a cop. He asks about Monica. Brian asks Bilkins why they're talking rather than him being arrested. Bilkins tells him, I want you to drive. Which is, like, this scene is okay, but that last line, super cool.
Last line is super cool. The rest of the scene is expressly, like, why I can see why they didn't use it. It's completely useless. I don't know. It's kind of weird implicating that Monica was there to find or get Brian because she's undercover with Carter Verone. It kind of convolutes the story because she's like looking for drivers, but she's looking for a driver that is also a former cop. You know what I mean? You'd be like, what? They like never explain. Whatever. I think this scene makes sense to be cut, but I'm 100% with you. I need you to drive is really cool. But I think that's more on Bilkins being cool than the scene being good.
So we were talking about this on Facebook before we started recording, that I can't really go deeper on this than we did when we broke it down into deleted scenes. I can talk about the clothing, which we don't really talk about much on here unless something crazy is going on. The dialogue you all heard is in the minute document at the Patreon page, toofasttooforever.com. I have a couple notable moments, but like what I'm looking for, there isn't it. There's no music in here. We're not doing trivia questions. We're going to need an episode title. So that's also you. But what did you notice? Is there anything you dug deep here to find? Because I want to cover these for completion's sake, but I don't know how much more there is to actually uncover than what we talked about a couple laps ago.
So there's no cars. All of the footage that we got is very, very grainy. So like anything that I would normally find, like signs and stuff, no. I even did a little walk around my little stroll around Miami today to try to find like where they're looking out to, but it's too blurry to distinguish anything to make any real sense of it. I feel bad, but there's like not much I can see or do in the backgrounds, and especially this one that they're like on a roof, that there's no cars, no fucking nothing. So, but I did notice one very interesting thing. Behind them on the rooftop in this scene, there appears to be a man in what I can only describe as a crane on top of the roof.
Okay.
And I was
like a construction crane?
It's like a box.
Okay.
I don't even know what it's supposed to be. Like it looks like the place where you would sit in a crane or like an excavator. Like, you know what I mean? Like the
Yes.
eagle's nest type situation. There's a man in there, and I was like, is that a guy? Because it's like I said, it's very blurry. You can't see anything in the background. These aren't like 1080p restored shits. So
yeah, this is, I think, either it might be 240p ripped off YouTube that I then blew up to 720p. I think it's ugly.
It's not good.
It's bad video.
So yeah. So then I'm like, is there a man in that thing? And then I look, and the person moves. So yes, there is a man directly behind them, in between their faces, in what appears to be a crane. Why that's there, I don't know. Would that have stayed in the movie? Would they have green screened it out? I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, is that like something that's... I have no fucking idea. But it's very strange to me that there was a man and apparently a thing that just standing there. That was the most interesting thing I found out about this.
Cool. My question to you, the only thing I came up with here, I think it's just common cop parlance, but Bilkins says it's pretty common. Well, because Brian's like, you wouldn't get it, man. You don't know. You don't know me. You don't know what my life is. You have no idea where I'm coming from. You don't know what it was like out there.
Real angsty this scene.
And Bilkins says it's pretty common, really. An agent goes dark on their first undercover job. It's a little bit of Stockholm Syndrome. Talking about, because Bilkins like, what happened with Dom? I just want to know. What happened? Like, what's going on? You don't understand. Do you think that Bilkins... I think it's very common that, like, a cop just, like, that happens, right? It just, like, you fall in love undercover, whatever. Do we think, though, that Bilkins...
Oh, are you going to say it? Can I finish your sentence?
What?
Has Bilkins done this before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or is he just like, it's common, I get it?
I think he's coming from a place of experience here. He, like, he's like Mia Toretto. She's kind of a babe. You got Monica Fuentes, who's kind of a babe.
It is funny that 2 movies in a row, Brian's just like, oh, this girl that I have to be stuck with is beautiful. It's the most beautiful woman on the planet.
Like, I should just seduce her with my blue eyes. Yeah, exactly. But I think Bilkins looks at Brian and goes like, I get it. Like we do, right? Like, the movies are full of beautiful people. Like, of course some of them are going to wind up together because that's just what beautiful people do. So, I do. Who do you think... I know who Bilkins... If Bilkins had a female criminal and fell in love with her undercover, who would it be? There's one correct answer.
Denise.
No. A real person. Well, a real person and a character in a movie. Both.
Oh. In the Fastiverse or from a different movie?
Different.
You talking about Sway?
No. Pam Grier
and
Foxy Brown is 100% the criminal that Bilkins fell in love with, or is even seen the movie and was like, I get it. I would fall in love with Pam Grier. And I think they're age appropriate too, or similar enough that it fits.
So Tom Barry's been in 23 movies. He was in Independence Day.
Oh, I forget that.
He was in Apollo 13. He was in Air Force One, Congo, Steel. I'm looking if there
Should
was
we
like
do a Tom Berry lap one time?
Boy, remember, I got a hold of his agent. He was like, yeah, you do it. And then he just never responded to me. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah, that's fine.
Look, Joe, on a long enough timeline.
That's what I mean. If we started a Tom Berry lap, though, we were like, Tom, we need you to come on and talk about these movies. Do you think he would give us, like 5 episodes?
I'm just trying to think of, like, other cop movies he's done. There are not enough movies for him. He plays Michael Jordan's dad in Space Jam.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that one, actually. I do remember that one. Yep.
No, I think Pam Grier's good. I was seeing if there's like another like movie he was in where he was like a cop or something that like we could have just like, sliding doors him in, but no. Do you have a name for this minute?
I was thinking that after you expressed the
idea.
title, I was going to do like something along definitely not Bilkins.
Well, I was thinking something like Ace Ventura thing is the Fast and Furious #4 thing. Tanner is Bilkins, Bilkins is Tanner.
I love it. That's dead on. Absolutely.
Okay.
Tanner is Bilkins, Bilkins is Tanner.
People are like, what?
Because that like now makes it sound like this might be an exciting deleted scene. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Anything else to say about this deleted scene?
Tanner is Bilkins, Bilkins is Tanner, and Pam Grier. No, because that'll give away my fun time. Okay, never mind.
Yours works well as a guessing game.
I think so, too. No, I really don't have anything else to say. This is really, like, this is a deleted scene. You know how we found some in the first one that we were like, oh, man, like, these make the story more interesting. They just didn't have time to explore this. This is like, why the fuck did you shoot this scene?
Well, I think this is almost more for the audience, like, the audience wants to know, well, no, because the audience knows what happened with Dom.
Yes.
I don't know.
And they know that he's there to get, like, you don't need to be told that he's there to get Brian. He eventually gets Brian, right? Why did he walk him up steps to a roof in handcuffs and then unhandcuff him on the roof?
I don't know, man.
I don't know either. Okay.
All right, Joe, on the streets. So I have an idea for a new segment.
Tell me, what is it?
I think every time we do one of these, we just go to Vin Diesel's Instagram and just look at every single post he's posted in the last 3 weeks.
100. That's what can we call it?
That's up to you. You're the damer. I'm the idea is
checking the VIN. Running the VIN.
Ooh, running the VIN. Okay.
Do you guys hear how fast that was? Joey didn't edit anything out. That was like the first fucking answer that came out. So when you hear
the first
this,
time ever, I'm going to edit in blank air. I'm going to edit in blank air and just have like 45 seconds of Joe being like, I'm gonna take all the times we play the letterbox game, and you're like, what could this be? What could this be? I'm gonna take all that I edit out sometimes, and I just put it in here.
No, you
this
just need to
4 hours long. It's like 90 minutes of you being like, what could I name this?
No, it's just like when you give me the dumbest thing ever. Running the VIN. I like that. That's fun. That's really fun.
I think we got a bunch. So the last one of these that we recorded.
He was like on set here. He came out of the Universal Studios. He was like, "Yeah, they told me it was all good," and the reports were like, "Don't do anything."
8th. Yep. Okay. So here we go.
Okay.
Share Vin Diesel. Share.
This was a genius idea. When did you have this?
Well, because I have like one of his videos that we're gonna watch, and I'm like, wait a minute, like this one, this little icon up here. If you see like the little like
that's
shows a video, it's like that means some gold in there. The only issue is that like I'm not, they might get edited, whatever. So this one,
Happy Mother's Day, prayer hands.
Wishing you all blessed Mother's Day. He's praying, liked by the Mikester.
It's tank top that looks like the sky and tie-dyed and is mesh somehow. Everything about it, excellent. Love it, Vin.
Him and Rita Moreno posted the next day, also liked by the Mikester. Abuelita and Dom, ... This photo from last week, ... along with the most beautiful message I received this morning from Rita, ... inspired me to share a little more light and love for this Mother's Day. To the mothers, '(s), of this beautiful world, ... mothers, '(s), of life, of hope, guidance, and of grace, ... We exist because of you, ... Happy Mother's Day, all love, always.
Him leaning into the, like, what do you think Rita Moreno's text said to him? And did she even text him? Is another question I have.
Yes, I think it might not.
No,
have been...
I think he might have texted her "Happy Mother's Day." Abuelita.
And she might have just
Toretto.
said, "I love you, mijo," right? Like just
Like, thanks, always family, or something like that, right? Isn't that what that feels like? Okay.
posted 3 days later, not liked by the Mikester. This one was edited, so I don't know what this used to say, but this is him. He tags the Ricky Johnson. The Ricky Johnson is a
NASCAR
motocross
driver,
champ.
right? Oh yeah, motocross. That's right.
She says precision. 2 precision drivers. It's him in a baseball cap, like a trucker's cap with the sides mesh.
Do you, minus the videos, do you think Vin curates this, or does he have somebody else doing it for him? I have so many more questions now that you open this segment up.
Dude, I don't think I don't think anybody gets between him and his Instagram.
You think straight from the hip, right? Like this is him.
Oh yeah.
Like, because it sounds too much like it would be him, right? Precision, and then just at Ricky Johnson. Like, that's just...
I think, because here's the thing. When it says edited, I think someone's just like, bro, too far. Because remember,
you think that's his
our
reins,
world...
like...
Because remember that 2 Our World leaders wishing you nothing but the best, whatever. Like, we're watching you. Hope you have a good day.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, whatever nonsense he edited it to.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the one that we need to talk about. This is the long video. I don't know how long this
He's
is.
in front of a Penske moving truck. Okay.
It's on the speedway. If you see in the back there, like this might be from the Fast F9 set.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, yeah. Okay, I think somebody mentioned this. Okay, go ahead.
Another incredible day of shooting. For all of you that really, really know the Fast and Furious franchise, you can only imagine what this
Is he
car
on the ground? Why is he so low compared to it? Oh, no, it's on a truck. It's on a flatbed. Okay.
That was the first car I came across in this franchise.
Okay.
And needless to say, it holds a special place in my heart. All love, always.
Okay.
Simple.
So are they shooting something? Because I thought that he was just in the meeting like a week ago that they like didn't even fucking have a plan. Right?
I wonder how much of this is him, and I think we talked about this, how much of this is him being like, the fans demand it. Like, he's out there, like, acting against the best wishes of Universal.
Yeah, give the people what they want. That's what he's doing here. I think possibly.
So we have a pivot, May 18th, Furion Friday, ... and just some kind of concept art from Furia, I guess.
Yeah.
Also some kind of Mid-Journey Dolly 3 generated whatever.
Yeah, also definitely seems like that too. Yeah.
So then here we go. This is posted May 21st. Proud.
This is him flopping his dick on the table right here.
So
this
here is a post.
Very
he says,
performative. Okay.
Congratulations to my Universal family on the most successful year in Universal history. I am so grateful to have been a part of this incredible achievement. It's truly been an amazing journey together from the inception of a daring, eye-shined anti-hero named Riddick in an indie sci-fi flick called Pitch Black.
He already pitches Pitch Black in it. Good job.
To the global domination of our original IP about underground LA racers, our trajectory has been nothing short of extraordinary. As you race towards your next finish line, keep in your sights that you are the last great champions of the theatrical experience. You have always strived to achieve cinematic firsts on a global scale. From flying helicopters over Havana, jumping cars out of skyscrapers in Abu Dhabi, filming foot chases in the favelas of Rio, or premiering a box office juggernaut at the Coliseum, you have backed he's mixing movie with real life. You have backed every wild idea we have thrown your way. Here's to many more years of creative collaboration, making cinematic excellence for our global audience on the big screen. Donna, Jimmy, Moses, Peter, and every single legend that makes up the Universal tribe who believed in us. You're not just colleagues, you're family. Vin Diesel, one race.
There's so many things to unpack there. One, I think he's flexing on Universal. Like, don't you motherfuckers forget it. Fast and the Furious runs this shit. One. Two, I'm glad that he had to start by referencing Riddick for no fucking reason. But good job, Vin. I expect nothing less. Three, him mixing movies and real life feels exactly like that just lends credence to our theory that Dom Toretto and Vin Diesel are one person, and they're just like merging and are no longer split. The personalities are clashing.
Also, you know why last year was the most successful year for Universal? It wasn't just because of Fast 10. Oppenheimer was last year.
Yeah, no shit. I knew it was something. They didn't release 2 movies last year. 1 movie. It's like, yes, it's the most. But he was firmly. This is all pandering, right? This is like.
I just like that his positioning is like, congratulations to the people who believed on me then, who believed on me again, who believed in me again, who
and I kept making you all this fucking money. And I kept making you all this fucking money. Don't forget that we make you a ton of fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. That's a good move, dude. That was a pro chess move. I like this one. Good job, Vin. I like it. Thumbs up. Works for me. This is also super fun for me because I never fucking open Instagram. So, like, this is like a whole new world to me. Okay, go ahead.
Well, you're also getting a very weird, specific, hyper-focused world.
Yeah, a world that I want to live in. The brain of Vin Diesel.
Mm-hmm. To be back on the track training, ... where we filmed our
Training?
emotional flashbacks in 2019,
What is he training for?
Surreal, grateful and blessed, ... And it's a picture of him in front of his Charger on the speedway.
In a really cool one-knee pose, too. Like, somebody
but
was
the knee's
like...
on the ground because he's like, these pants are too expensive.
Not on the ground, but hand down. Like, this is like... Take a cool pose in front of this car. Door open. It's fucking cool. It's very cool. Black and white. Good job.
This one has 1 million likes in 7
But
days.
what is he training for? Can you explain what he's training for?
I couldn't tell you, man.
Well, that was fun. Checking the VIN. Running the VIN.
Running the VIN.
GetTheVIN.com.
Mm-hmm.
There's a radio show that is syndicated on Pittsburgh radio on Saturday mornings called... And the guy that hosts it... Who's like the guy that was on The Office for a little bit? He was like one of the younger characters that came in and had like the long hair and has like a kind of goofy voice. There was like 2 of them. There was like an attractive one and then there was like the doofy one.
Didn't watch The
No?
Office. Don't know.
Oh, fuck. Okay, somebody out there knows. Anyways, this guy sounds just like him and he kind of has like this accent and he's like from Texas and he's like, I think it's GetTheVIN.com and he like tells, he's like a toned down Howard Stern, and also you can call in and just like sell him your car. He owns like a bunch of like used car dealerships or something like that in Texas, and like you call in and he's like, you're like, I have a Chevy Malibu, and he's like, what package is it? And you tell him everything, and he's like, I'll give you $15,000 for it, and they're like, okay, and he's like, drop it off. I'll tell you where to take it, and then you just do it, and you sell him the car. That's it.
15 grad?
$15,000.
Wow.
We're not allowed to say that anymore.
Look, I get it. Okay. We have other news. Officially no longer Twitter, it's X.com now.
Did he finally change it and buy it?
Yeah. He's owned it.
Is that why it was broken for like a couple days there? I feel like it was broken again. I mean, it's always kind of broken, but like I feel like a couple days ago it was like, oh, remember when it was like logging everybody out of your phone but not the desktop, or
Yes.
desktop but not the phone?
That's
Was
why.
that because? Okay, yep. There you go. Good job, Mr. Tweet.
As a reminder, cageclub.me/vote. Okay. John Cena to host Discovery Channel Shark Week.
Oh, that's cool. And The Rock's already done it, so now we're like 2. And Momoa, I think, has done it, right? Are we like 3 mans?
I mean, it's like, what actors could conceivably beat up a shark?
3 of them in the Fast and the Furious. Yeah, that's true.
Last year with Momoa had his highest
Yes.
premiere night in 3 years.
And the Rock did like 1 or 2 ago. Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So we're just like, who's gonna be next? They're not gonna let Vin do Shark Week, right? There's
Honestly,
no
surprising he is
conceivable-
not.
Has he? Have we checked?
Shark Week, 2005.
Did he?
No. So we had Peter Benchley in 94.
Oh,
We voted a bunch of people. Going back,
You know
Momoa,
why?
The Rock, Josh Gates, Rob Riggle, Shaq, Eli Roth for 3 years, Josh Wolf for 2 years.
You know why we can't have Vin Diesel do Shark Week?
Why?
Because he has that Street Sharks commercial from 1994.
True.
Yeah,
But like, you're
that's
on the wrong
precise.
side. Wrong side of history, bud.
Yeah, he's like, the sharks aren't fighting; they're just majestic.
There is a new movie called The Smashing Machine, which is directed by Benny Safdie, starring The Rock, which is about
That's
Mark
the MMA
Kerr.
one, which we talked about last time when we talked about The Rock's article and how like The Rock is like Benny Safdie doesn't know what he's getting into type situation. Remember
Did you see
this?
the picture, though? Did you see this picture?
Oh, it doesn't even. He looks unrecognizable, like body wise, but face wise, no.
What was really weird was that when we first heard about this movie, I was talking about it with Bob, and I was just like, Mark Kerr kind of looks like Benny Safdie. Like, it'd be weird to see Benny Safdie in the role, but like they just have The Rock, and they just have like so much prosthetics on him that like.
I think like lips to eyes, I see a lot of Benny Safdie in you all the time.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that, but okay.
I think you guys could be like, he could be your older brother. And, like, whenever I see them, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that like you guys are like doppelgangers, but like whenever I see them, I'm like, if you were like, oh yeah, that's my cousin, I'd be like, I see it.
What I've been told is Paul Mescal from, I mean, he was in Normal People, but he was also in After Sun. He was in all of Us Strangers. He's in a bunch of stuff. Like, he's just like a really on the rise, up and coming indie actor. I mean, not up and coming. He's here. Also
guy?
Phoebe Bridgers for a while.
I could see. Okay, so I could see this. I could see this like
No,
this.
he looks.
What?
He looks like me.
I mean, you're being very gracious, bud.
No, I know. Look, I did not come up
just
with a
saying,
comparison.
like, if you were like, this is my younger brother, this guy, and Benny Safdie's my older brother, and you're in between them, I'd be like, yeah, I see it.
So here's something fun. Big news on Uncle Francis. Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. Wild hit at Cannes. People love it. People hate it. People don't know what to make of it. They're going to cover it in big ways on that podcast whenever it comes out. Natalie Emmanuel, Ramsey herself in the movie. How funny would it be if we covered Megalopolis before they did?
Oh, when does it come out? Can we beat them?
There's not a date yet. It's very loosey-goosey.
I think we should do that only for the sake of you getting /Megalopolis on cageclub.me before Brian and Mike do.
I think it'd be pretty good. I could also just change the URL for theirs. Be like, oh, sorry, Megalopolis now directs to Too Fast, Too Forever.
No, does Brian put it on the, like, who picks the URLs? You?
Well, no, I mean, Brian, whoever posts the episode for whatever show picks the URL.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
One, but I could change. He could set Megalopolis. Like, we could never cover it. I could still just change his URL to be whatever. So,
okay.
But I do agree. I think it'd be funny. It'd be like, oh no, sorry, you're Megalopolis, Uncle Francis.
I think we should release it, not like put it out until they do theirs. Like, we should have it. It should be on the website, but not like in the like recent things. And then when they go to do it, they find that we have the episode. It's done, and it's been on the website by the time that it comes out for them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they like release theirs, we release ours the same day. Like, that's when you run the, like, as soon as they're like, okay, like Megalopolis comes out Tuesday, you're like, Megalopolis comes out Tuesday, whatever day it is. We just have it in the back pocket and already camped on the URL.
Love it.
Okay, cool. Let's plan for that to fuck with
I mean,
them
I could just temp it right now, right? Just like have like a
No.
thing,
I think
yeah.
that rightfully so. It should be like, you can't call shoddy till you see the car. Like, you have to, like, we'll wait and we'll just make sure that we beat them.
Okay.
Go ahead, Natalie Emmanuel. Back to our regular.
Well, no, she's just in it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she's in it.
That was just okay. Fine.
Fast and Furious 12 returning to. Is this the same thing? Hold on. Yeah, this is the same thing. Okay, so here we go. So here's the big thing.
Okay.
NBC Universal Studio Chief Donna Langley on Fast and Furious Wicked and the Future of Movies.
Okay.
Talking about NBC Universal. She's from NBC Universal. Talking about Paramount. It would be sad if they went away. Right?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Langley, who was interviewed by Variety's co-editor-in-chief Ramin Satouda, gave updates on some of Universal's biggest films and franchises. Though she insists there's still, quote, gas in the tank of the Fast and Furious franchise, she suggested that Dom Toretto and his crew might be getting a tune-up after the 11th film in the series. Quote, where we go next is a question, she said. We may pivot another time and bring it back to the streets of L.A. and maybe make it a more intimate story.
This is 1,000% what we did. They get the fuck. Who is this? So who is this? Because we need to address her when we talk about the people listening to the podcast now.
She
Haven't we
runs
said-
NBC Universal.
Okay, Donna Langley. Whoever is the temp that is listening to this podcast for Donna Langley, report to her. We would love that. Do a reboot. We've already recasted it for you 50 fucking times on the episodes. Listen to all 374 of them. Run it through AI. Get the transcripts. Figure out who the fuck we said we wanted in it. And just do that. That's what we already told you. We crowdsourced it. We got all the fans to write in. Everybody's talked about this.
They're creating like word webs. Or like the most common words they say are Dom Toretto, no knees to knees, and food all over the place.
They're like, it's like every time that they say, if we did Fast and the Furious reboot, like then they just like listen for the next 3 minutes afterwards. Okay. Go ahead.
Langley also implied there could be a possible TV or streaming spin-off of the series.
No shit.
NBC Universal successfully launched shows based on hit movies like Pitch Perfect and Ted. Fast and Furious is a good one. She said, when asked what other films could inspire similar programming.
No shit. Yeah, we've worked this out. Oh, God damn. Like, you don't need a fucking $1 million think tank to figure this out. We did it for you.
I like that those two quotes, she's just like, yeah, it might be like a reboot, and yeah, it might be a streaming series, was enough to prompt like a series of think pieces, just like, where could we go from here? It's like, well, you know.
Go back and listen to some of the old episodes, and we've told you everywhere we could go from here. We've worked it all out for you. Could you just hire us for just fucking, like, look, if you've learned anything, you saw how fast did I come up with running the VIN. See, just like put me in a room, just let me play word association. Just let me play word association for you. And like, you don't have to pay me a ton even. Like, I mean, I want paid, but like, you don't have to pay me a ton. Just like, let me be on set. Like run the scripts by, like, oh, did I send you this fucking video from TikTok? Did I send you this? There was the girl. She's like sitting there. I don't know who she was. I can't explain more, but now my brain went there. There's this girl. She's sitting there and she's like, I'm sitting here with my dad today because a lot of you asked me what I do for work. Okay. And he's like older white guy. Really,
is her name Romy Mars?
Maybe. Sure.
No, okay. Romy Mars is Sofia Coppola's daughter.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not. So she's sitting there and she's like very, very cute. You can see she's like a TikTok influencer, right? And she's like, ever since I was a child, I had a strong love of industrial steel building. And he just starts laughing. Yeah. And then she's like, Dad, what are you? And she's like, are you CFO or vice president? He's like, well, I was CFO. Now I'm vice president, but I kind of do the same thing. It doesn't really matter. And she's like, yeah, when he's not here, I'm pretty much acting VP. And he just like starts laughing at her again. And like, anyways, that's what I feel like. So, and at one point she's like, so like, you know, a lot of the times the engineers like run the drawings by me and stuff like that. He cackles at her again. Like she's just an administrator. Like he like tucked her in an office somewhere that's like, okay, she like organizes the office.
But she's got a very bloated idea of what she does.
But she has a very bloated idea of what she does and tried to explain that in front of her father that is the VP of this company. Either way, let them run the scripts by me. I'll make all the decisions. I've had a long love of cars and
Wait, who are you in this metaphor? The daughter or the VP?
The daughter.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to have a very bloated idea of what I'm doing there. Just, like, ask me to repeat the dumb shit that we've said on the podcast to you succinctly, and I'll be like, this is what you guys should do. Is this a good idea for the show? No. Nobody wants to see that. This is good. Cool. Either way, I'm going to take over NBC Universal. Give me Donna, whatever her name's job is, and yeah, that'll be fine. I'll be her VP. I'll be like, that's what I said. Like, she'll call me, and I'll be like, yeah, that was a great idea. I told you.
Lewis Hamilton on Hot Ones today.
I didn't watch it yet. Zach watched it, said it was pretty good. I plan to watch it tonight because I think Lewis Hamilton's fascinating, and that's my newest cute boy that joined my team. So,
any other news you've seen about Fast and Furious?
No, but on that note, I can get it out now. Congrats to Charles Leclerc, the cutest cute boy, for winning his home race and not being cursed for once. So, good for him. Cool. He's from Monaco. He's like one of... A lot of the drivers live in Monaco now because it's a tax haven, blah, 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 whatever. But he's from Monaco, and he always, like, fucks up there somehow, even though it's, like he watched it as a kid from, like, the apartment buildings that, like, overlook the track. One time, I think 1 or 2 seasons ago, 3 maybe, that he's driving, and he was, like, in first place by, like, a nice lead, and the car just exploded on the last lap. Oh. Like, that's how cursed he's just like, it was like one of these things where it was like, is he ever going to be able to win here? He's cursed. But he finally won. So congratulations, Charles Leclerc.
Congratulations.
Yes.
But no other news other than that?
No, there is no other Fast and Furious news. I've been running everywhere.
Dwayne Johnson interquel?
I don't know. I like our I'm growing into the theory from last time that I think that they're just not going to do Hobbs and Shaw 2, and they're just going to, like, tack it 10 minutes onto the front of Fast 11.
Every day, Reaction Rock is just, like, trying to parse The Rock's, like, schedule. Like, his, like...
He's doing the Lord's work, is what you mean.
And he's just like, does this mean that Hobbs isn't happening? It's like, my guy. It's not.
We haven't heard a fucking word about Hobbs and Shaw 2. And if Vin's already at the track with the cars from Fast and the Furious, I think that's a really bad sign.
Doing training?
Training, sorry. Yeah, training at the track. Yeah, I don't think we're getting a Hobbs and Shaw 2 from the looks of it to me. Unless it comes out after, but I think they're just going to brush right over this fucking post-credit scene and not care. It was a setup for Hobbs and Shaw 2, but Universal seems to have been like, nope.
We have a Patreon page, toofast2forever.com. We just had an episode come out on The Keep last week for the patrons, which is very fun. Next week is Good Burger. That's our next Patreon bonus episode. We got every 2 weeks, every other Monday, Patreon bonus episodes that'll never be released publicly. Also, you get early access to every other episode, toofast2forever.com. Early access to Hall of Fame voting, to the minute documents, to the quizzes, all sorts of stuff, toofast2forever.com. And speaking of our patrons, shout out to Cassie Wilson, Nick Burris, Alex Ellen, and Justin Kleiman, and Brian Rodriguez of High School Slumber Party, Wes Hampton, Jerry Robinson, Dan the Duke, Hayden, Renato DiDonato, Michael McGann, Lane Middleton, Lindsay Lewandowski, Nate Milton of the Kings of Sport, Jason Rainey, Tom Price, Mike Callier, Josh Buckley of whole lot of Wolves, Michael Moser, Christian Larson, Tara Newman, Aaron Willows, Natalie Absolute, Randy Carter, Josh Goularm, and Jessica Collins, a.k.a. Montez.
I'd like to give a special shout out to our Barstool Sports celebrity Brian Late Night Rodriguez, who made a giant thing on Barstool. He was like the
apparently
face
he looks
of
like
Barstool.
a stoolie. He looks like one of their writers, right?
Yeah. So yes, he was somehow like broadcast at a Nets game that he wasn't at the time. The Barstool people were like, "Hey, this looks like a Mets fan that like works at Barstool," and then they just spiraled. But it's literally Brian Rodriguez. I was so confused by the post this morning when he sent it to us.
Well, because Brian also like says things in a way that's just like,
right? It didn't make sense.
Are you angry about this? Are you happy about this? Is this you? Is this not you? Like he says a thing that like could be taken 6 different ways. Just like
it was very loose and vague. And I was like, well, is this actually you? Yes. He's like, I wasn't at this game though, and I'm like, okay, so this is Be Real. Yes. From a different game. Yes.
Be Real, not Be Real. Be Real was an app.
And Be Real is in Cypress Hill.
Be Real was like, remember when Be Real was like, all right, your phone dings, you have to take a picture of where you are. You like put your phone here and take the picture this way and the picture this way.
Yeah, you know why I don't remember that? Because I don't want to ever be told what to do.
Well, I also never did that.
Any
that was
game
really
that's like,
hot, like
yes, I do remember
COVID-y.
this. Yes, and like I'm like, no thanks. I'm not doing anything that I'm told to do ever. If you guys know me, that makes a lot of sense. But go ahead.
Until you are the VP of NBCUniversal or something.
Well, then I tell people what to do, Joey. In my head, I'm running this fucking company. I just have stoolies that live underneath me.
We also have an email address, family@cageclub. I mean, Joe, we got 2 YouTube comments today, which is good. We got a couple emails. We got some other stuff here, but we have 3 YouTube comments, 2 that came in today. So first off, from Casey Family, commenting on Machete Kills, *121 #.
Okay. But the name feels very appropriate.
This is a big one.
What?
Also this morning, on our Into the Blue episode from United_States. Do you think this is Joe Biden?
I think that it's the guy that they planted in Joe Biden's body that is running his flesh machine.
Boy, we goof.
Sorry.
They just said Peppa Pig.
That's actually, that might be the greatest one we've ever gotten. That's like more fun than Moto Mouse. What did we talk? I mean, who knows if we talked about Peppa Pig in that episode? But I'm hoping that that's somebody's. You know who it is? It's fucking. What's Joe Biden's dog that keeps biting everyone's name? Sergeant or something. It's that. It's his German Shepherd. Is smart enough to get on Joe Biden's laptop and just type Peppa Pig. On our that's what he was trying to search, but he has paws, so it's harder to do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Then we have a real YouTube comment, which is really never happened. This was posted on the Fast and Furious 6 Lap 14 episode with Walt and Kim a day after it was published. From No Name, not just No Name, but just says No Name. I think Vin Diesel is still Mark Sinclair, still a goofy, wholesome, fun guy.
I think at the core, I agree. No Name, but I don't know if I don't know if the core still exists. But I bet that he is probably like just pretty. He's like just a goofy nerd, man. That's cool by me. I talk a lot of slander on Vin Diesel tangentially, and I'm sorry for that if he ever comes on the show. But I just find him to be a very interesting guy, and like I don't know him, so like I'm not trying to hurt his feelings. Sorry. I just think he's goofy. His Instagram's fucking goofy, dude. If he like, if I met him, I'd be like, your Instagram's fucking goofy. Like, if he's like, you like my Instagram? Is it cool? I'd be like, if you think so, sure. You know, I don't know what to say to that.
We got another email from Jackie Jones. There's a question for Walt.
Oh, cool.
I gotta remember to ask him this.
Okay.
Can you ask why Walt in his book says the crew size for Fast 5 Heist is 12? There's a figure on page 65. I'm counting only 9, or 10 if you count Vince. We got Dom, Brian, Mia, Roman, Tej, Han, Giselle, Leo Santos, maybe Vince... Question marks.
I think he's probably going to count Hobbs and Letty, right? I mean, Hobbs and Elena.
Maybe, but they're not part of the heist.
The heist team. Okay. Yeah, I don't know then. I think that was like crew? Okay.
Jackie, I'll find out. We got an email from Jerry Robinson. We have a long one that I'm saving next to read last. Email. Oh, this is cool.
What's up, Jerry?
Jerry Robinson, subject line shirt.
Okay, shirt.
Quick story, I was at Speedy for my car oil change and head gasket. Bunch of mechanics and a few customers compliment my shirt. What shirt, you ask? The gray Too Fast, Too Forever shirt with the orange Supra.
Oh.
And a few of us made a debate about the car. I knew Brian owed Dom a car, so should this technically be Dom's car and not Brian's? But it's symbolic of Brian's. I want to know your guys' opinion. Got a dash, don't lose that ass. You're running someone insane. I'm telling you, Charles Rain is not insane.
That's awesome that you wore the shirt. 1, thank you for buying one, first and foremost. 2, it's funny that you wore it to a mechanic shop. And 3, that is definitely Brian's car. Because now they're family.
Although, we just saw on Vin's Instagram, he was next to that car. Maybe now, on a long enough timeline.
He gets it back?
It's his car.
Yeah. I think ultimately all of these cars are both Baby B's and whatever Brian's kid's name is again. Remember? Jack. That one. Stupid name. Good job.
And the daughter whose name I don't remember, but I should.
They say it like in a millisecond, right? Yeah. They give her a name somewhere, but we don't remember where. They don't express it. But yeah, I think ultimately, because they're a family, all the cars belong to the offspring of them. So
I mean, I think like saying you owe me a 10-second car, just like you owe me just in general, right? Like if you prove your wealth, if you
but he said he got to get him racing back out there to make my money. So like I think that he could eventually have let him like race to win enough to pay the car. Like, I don't think it was like, this is my security deposit. Yeah. You know what I mean? More so than like who's the title in? It's going to be in Brian's name, right?
Yep. We have one more email today from Alex Walsh. I no longer remember a time before lap 7. I think Alex, from what I remember based on this, was someone who was just like speeding through. I'm in lap 7 already.
I'm cranking. Yeah. We're like, good luck. Yeah.
In my last email, I got a little mixed up and labeled one of my notes as lap 7, implying I'd already finished it. Little did I know just how much content I was yada-yada-ing. But actually, this lap was perfectly designed for me to spend a lot of time on, since it's heavily flavored with 2 of my favorite things, Lost and X-Men. Very lucky. X-Men. Oh, Nico Cavo.
Makes tons of sense, yeah. Good lap. That was a really good lap, right?
Missing pieces thing.
Yeah, that was a really good. I forgot that we did Lost on it too, but that was a really like just comprehensive, fun lap.
Well, Nico, this is I think also pandemic-y, right?
Yeah.
All right, Alex says actual lap 7 thoughts, long lap, kind of long email. Sorry, I'll start with the deleted scenes you guys covered and digress from there. In the FF Minutes segment about the deleted scene where Mia drives Brian home, you noticed she said one of the steps to becoming a doctor was getting into college. This would mean Brian's creeping on a high schooler. I'm going to try to salvage our boy, Brian Earl Spillner, and, I guess, the weirdo agent who says he gets off on her pictures. But for the record, I'm not doing it for him. My idea is she's going to community college. Lots of people do community college for the first couple of years to knock out basic courses and prereqs. Then transfer to a more expensive school for specialized and advanced courses in their major. Let's assume Mia is using, quote, get into college as a shorthand for getting into a selective school to finish a degree. It's already hard enough to get behind Cop Brian. I don't want to have to be on board with Cop who dates high school girls, Brian.
So I think that we've kind of, for our own benefit have kind of sided along the same lines. That we imagine she's either taking a gap year and just studying or something. I like the community college idea. That makes tons of sense to me, but agreed. I think that's a good way to salvage this without being like Brian is creeping on extensively an 18-year-old probably.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, agreed.
Also, for the alternate ending, you talked about how including it would change everything that happens later in the series, but actually, it could be pretty easy to have both that scene and the turbocharged prelude happen. All you need to do is cut in a 10-second scene after Brian says the police, quote, "let me go quietly," where Bilkins' boss is reviewing the right above the case and says, "What the fuck is this shit? No, arrest that man." Smash cut to Brian panic packing at his apartment.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. That works.
Sort of less FF related, in the Turbo episode, Melissa L., friend of the show, Melissa Lynham,
Yes.
sent in a story about Italy using a Lamborghini Huracan to deliver kidney transplants. She said she had wanted to make a Fast and Furious pun, but gave up, and I'm here 4 years later to do it. That service would have been really helpful for no kid knees to knees. Boom. I apologize.
The layers to that one was excellent. Top tier. Chef's kiss. Excellent.
Finally, Alex writes, even though there's 2 paragraphs of this, there was a stretch of episodes in the middle of the lap where people were sharing opinions about pizza. Don't remember this? Sure.
Okay.
Seems likely.
I'm in the pizza capital of the world.
I grew up in New York, so I was pretty pretentious about pizza for a while. I used to live in an apartment with some friends around the corner from a truly fantastic place in Brooklyn called the Three Luigis. Their claim to fame is that Omar Epps of House fame, Mike Tomlin's doppelganger,
yes,
used to deliver for them. My roommate's boyfriend
cool.
moved in with us for a while. That dude was constantly getting Papa John's delivered. I'd get so mad at him for choosing that when there was excellent pizza right downstairs. Blasphemy. I've since mellowed out.
Okay, yes, that's what I was going to say.
I'm cool with all styles, even though I still enjoy shitting on Chicago deep dish casserole as a bit.
Amen.
Even trash pizza like Papa John's has its place.
Yes.
On the same principle that sometimes you don't want Mexican, you want Taco Bell.
100%.
I don't want pizza sometimes, I want Domino's.
Olive Garden is not Italian food. That does not belittle what Olive Garden is if you want shitty pasta. Like, that's...
Yes.
Like, I do think... I have a whole different spiral about noodle selection, but for the most part, yes, I agree. Taco Bell, not Mexican food. Pizza Hut and Little Caesars and Domino's, those aren't pizza, but they suffice. Yeah.
Alex says, I still remember the first time I ordered pizza in Pittsburgh, though. I've never encountered the side of ranch for dipping thing before moving out there. So when I placed my order and the guy asked if I wanted a ranch with it, I was super confused. And after a few beats of silence, I asked, for what?
Ranch with pizza is also fucking killer. I pitched this a million times over. If you've just started listening, dip your pizza into ranch dressing. It's incredible. Preferably pepperoni pizza, but all styles work. And as a bonus twist, Rachel makes what we call a ratchet sauce, which is like a little bit of Frank's Red Hot to your preference inside the ranch dressing. You make a spicy ranch, dip your pizza into that. Also delicious. There's so many ways you can do this, but ranch dressing on pizza is a delight. So, yes.
Anyway, Alex says, looking forward to Lab 8. I found the podcast through Heather Anto's tweet about her Fast 10 episode. Didn't realize she had her own lap earlier. I guess that means she liked the movies enough to come back. Keep up the good work, guys, and hopefully I'll be caught up in time for 1327. Alex. Well, thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for writing in. I love that you guys write in, even if you're catching up and talking about things that I likely don't remember. Hopefully one day you get here and you hear us gush about your email, and appreciation for you writing in. Thank you.
That's all the emails. If you want to email in, family@cageclub.me, also our Patreon at toofast2forever.com, and our voting at cageclub.me/vote. Also, store at cageclub.me/shop. Just start typing letters in the URL, and something's going to happen. Statistically, it won't lead to us, but it might.
There's a non-zero chance that you will find us, so that's good.
You never know.
If you're Joe Biden's dog, family@cageclub.me, write in.
Right in. Joe, extracurricular activities. You've been a busy, busy boy. What have you been up to in the last 3 weeks?
Oh, fuck. I've done so much. Started out, I went to San Diego for work. That was fun. Got to see one of my buddies. It's in my fantasy hockey league out there. Rachel came with Because she was doing other work stuff there too.
She's an important business lady.
She's an important business lady. She was in charge of things, more things than I ever was at work situations. So she was there. We went to, this time when we were in San Diego, we went to the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, though. So there's two places. They have like the normal San Diego Zoo, which is huge and massive, and then they have this like outpost that's in my friend told me kind of where Tony Hawk lives, which is interesting. Okay. Like he lives like out in this fucking place in San Diego, and it's like 35 minutes outside the city, and they have like a giant animal sanctuary that they will have. Yeah, you could just like, and they let them like just free roam like within their like owning land boundaries and stuff like that. But they also have essentially a zoo there too. So we went there, saw giraffes and shit. It was pretty fun. I like the zoo. I like these San Diego zoos. They're like very conservation-y. They're like, they don't feel exploitive as much.
They're like important, like that's like big top world-class zoo.
Yes, yeah. So highly recommended. It was a blast. Ate some In-N-Out. That was good when we got there. It was delightful. What else did I do? Ate a lot of California burritos. Drank a ton. That was good. They put a Tacos El Gordo in San Diego now. Tacos El Gordo is this place that was like, have you ever had it?
I've heard of it. I don't know if I've had it or not.
It's pretty good. We went there. San Diego has a lot of my favorite dive bars. Like, I actually really like the dive bar scene in San Diego. They have a ton of them. That's pretty fun to go to. And I saw people smoking meth, literally. I've never seen people, like, actually smoking meth. But I saw multiple people.
At a dive bar?
No, I mean, pretty much right outside.
Okay.
But, like, on the street, like, I saw people smoking meth as we were, like, going to do our work things. And I was like, that's one way to start your day. So, saw that. Then I came back. I hid for, like, a couple days. And then last weekend, we came to see you. And Joey had his, like, Memorial Day barbecue. I got there. We got to hang out. I know I fucked up, guys, and we already apologized about this to the person, but fan favorite Garrett Smith was there, and we got to meet him and his partner and hang out with him, and we didn't get a picture together, and I regret it. The resident historian Mike Manzi was there, Margaret, Rachel, everybody, so it was a good time.
And then later that night, Brian Rodriguez of High School Slumber Party showed up with his baby, and then on Sunday, Duke and his whole family showed up too, so it was a nice...
I love them too. They're super cute babies. Duke has, like, some of the cutest fucking kids I've ever seen in my life.
Ella and Ben, both in the house.
They're so cute. Like, she's so cute. So good time all around. And then, then I left there and immediately went to go visit Rachel's parents. And we were at the beach this weekend. And I got to hang out and just experience debauchery with my father-in-law, which was fun. He's always a good time, as Rachel's parents are. They're super fun to hang out with. This was something. Okay, I need to pitch this to you. New idea, thought. Okay, when we were in San Diego, we caught up with one of our friends, somebody that used to work in the lab before, and she was recommending her and her new fiance play a lot of board games, right? Okay. And she had recommended this game to us called The Mind. Okay, have you ever heard of this?
I have not.
It's essentially a deck of cards, 1 to 100. You can't say anything between each other, and you have to play the lowest card to the highest card.
Wait, say that again?
You have a deck of cards, 1 to 100.
Yep. Like a regular... Okay, not a regular...
They're numbered.
Okay, yep.
And you get so many of them, and so it'd be like you and Margaret, you're sitting there, and you have to play the lowest card first, and then the next person with the next highest card has to play, and you can't talk to each other.
Huh.
And you can't,
so you don't have all the cards, but you have, like...
You have, like, 5 of, like, 100.
3, 27, 81, whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Okay. And you have to be like... I'm going to play this card next, or should I or shouldn't I? And you can't be like, you should play your card next. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. So that's fun. They recommended that. I haven't played it yet. But on the similar note, it just sounds fun. I have it downstairs. It didn't arrive in time. We did get this game that Rachel was like, that kind of sounds like this other game called Q's and Hues. Okay. It's a game. It's a giant grid that's about maybe like 100 or more squares, and it's just like a rainbow gradient. Okay, you get a card and it just has like which square you're supposed to describe, and you use one word to describe the color that you're trying to get the other people to put their token on. This game is very fun. Very chaotic. There's there's essentially nothing to learn about it. You just like
What's the name of this one?
Hues, Hues and Q's, or Q's and Hues. Whatever. I might have flipped
Hues
it.
and Q's. No, you're right. You're right.
Okay. Hues and
Ooh,
Q's.
yeah, that's a pretty box too. Yeah.
It's really, really fun. Highly recommended. It's great for. I think you need about 3 people. But I think you can go more than that, but it's a blast. It's really, really fun.
Cool.
Cause like we started playing and Rachel was like, sage. And we were like, okay. In my head, sage is this color. She's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And we're like, exactly. You know what I mean? So it cause you're like,
oh man.
Yeah. Sage, periwinkle. We learned a lot about each other this weekend based on what our color, what our eyes see in colors.
Look, I know a lot of colors exclusively because of Pokemon Red and Blue, and I don't know for sure that Vermilion is like an orangey kind of golden thing, but it might be.
So, I mean, you could use whatever you want. Like, and I, like, for one of my clues, I used, like, I had, like, a teal color, and I used dolphins. And
Well, you
Rachel's
could also
mom,
say, like, so, like, for, like, a specific orange, you could say, like, Supra.
yeah, I could. Okay. And then you still have to pick which color you think I'm describing out of, like, 30 oranges.
Oof.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Try Hues and Q's if you guys have, like, you know, a friend. It's one of these games that's great for... I like board games now that are great for drinking. Like, this is a game that you can, like, say your thing, pause. There's no timer, right? Like, nobody's, like, you can get up, you could pee, you can come back. And then, so you do, like, 1 round of 1-word clues, and then you double down and you get a 2-word clue after. And a lot of fun. Highly recommended.
Cool.
And I think that's about it. That's what I've been up to. Watching MILF Manor, still fun.
Now with dads.
They brought in a guy and his uncle this week or last week, and I was like, that's not fair. Like, what the fuck is that about?
No rules on MILF Manor, man.
No, but I mean, like, you bring your uncle's not your dad. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I guess he could be, but these were specifically like uncle and like nephew, and I'm like, that's not the same thing. Like, you're not gonna act say like me and my uncle were like, I don't even have any alive uncles to do this with, but like, if I had a single uncle, that's like, oh, we can go bro down together, not like your dad, right?
That's coastal grandma roast, baby.
Exactly.
You got nothing but uncles.
Exactly. Funkles only. So yeah, just like that, and that's and sports. It's like hockey playoffs, basketball playoffs. Watching those, trying to do nothing as much as possible now.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, the big thing I did was the barbecue 2 days. For some reason, like normally Saturday is the big day, Sunday is the more laid back day. But Saturday when you showed up on your way through, it was smaller. Sunday there was 30 people here. I was just like, what
the fuck? Really? 30 people?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Awesome though. Good for you.
It was very cool, very fun. Scully made some good wings on the charcoal. You were asking me about that.
Oh, how did the fire pit go? Did you put the sand in the bottom of the fire pit? Joey was asking me about. Did it work?
It worked the first day. We didn't light it the second day because there's too many kids running around, and also we didn't like it was
but it worked,
lighter
right?
than darker. But it worked the first day for sure. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. Joey was like, I scorched my grass last year, and I was like, do you have?
Well, yeah,
because
I had like 2 10-hour long fires in a fire pit. On a pit directly on the grass, and I was just like, how do I prevent this? So I bought like paving stones, which I was going to do, and you said also just put sand on the bottom, and so it just worked.
Excellent. Perfect. I meant to ask you about that. Cool. Awesome.
Worked really well. I was sick the week before, like the week leading into my barbecue, and I was like stressing. I was just like, oh, I can't be sick now. So I just like slept and just like rested, and I was fine. But I like basically didn't do anything. But I have seen a bunch of movies in theaters of note. Bob and I went to the city to see Aggro Drift.
Oh, tell me all about it. I wanted to go too, and it was so fucked. So we wanted to go, and sadly, as much as I wished, and Joey and I don't know if we talked about it on here, but I was dreaming that they were going to play this in a strip club against a wall behind the poles. They were in other strip clubs, just not in New York. It did play in strip clubs? I didn't just make that up in my head? No, that's where the idea came from. Like he was debuting it in like Los Angeles strip clubs and stuff. Sick. Okay, fine. Yeah, but not in New York. Fuck that. I was hoping in New York was a bodega. That's what I wanted to play it in, a bodega, like against the back wall. No, it was just like it was a Draft House, and it was the Nighthawk and a couple other places. And Bob and I went. We saw it at like 10. What was it like? The showings were 8:40, 9:40, or something like that. Like 8:05, 9:05. I mean, it's only like terrible. 80 minutes long. Like it's short, but it's still like you're in the city. It was wild. And the 8:40 was sold out, so we saw it at 9:40. Whatever. It's all shot in infrared. It's kind of like a video game. Is it Harmony sick as fuck? Who did Spring Breakers. It's very, very cool.
there's some stuff in there that's just like laugh out loud dumb, like intentionally dumb. We will eventually cover it when we do we have a lap coming up that we will cover. We could cover Spring Breakers, but we'll also could cover Aggro because it's like, it's
I've been just talking about
like,
Spring Breakers the other day too, and I really need to rewatch it. So you say we're going to do it soon? Should I rewatch it between now and then? No, I mean, the laps last for fucking ever. Yeah, I should probably watch it between now and then.
Yeah, that's theoretically going to be in 2 laps. So, like in a year and a half. So you got time to watch it and then forget all about it and then watch it again. But yeah, Aggro is great. Very much enjoyed it. Like, Bob and I have been on this run of seeing stuff in theaters. Like, it's just been like a really good stretch for movies. Like Civil War and Sasquatch Sunset and Challengers and The Beast and I Saw the TV Glow and The Fall Guy and Aggro. We're like, how much longer can we continue this? And so we saw The People's Joker, which I think I might have talked about. Do you know about The People's Joker? Have you ever heard about this or no?
No, what is it?
So The People's Joker is a movie that debuted at film festivals last year, I believe, or maybe 2 years ago. This woman, Vera Drew, a trans woman, Vera Drew, basically made a story about her coming out, her transition.
Okay.
But she is the Joker. Like, Batman's the Joker. And Batman is not really in the movie, but he's like this, like, fascistic overlord, and she's in Gotham City, and it's about, transitioning, trying to come to terms with who you are, but she is the Joker.
Okay.
And it debuted, and people were like, this is amazing. And
okay.
DC was like, you can't fucking show this.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Like, what? I was like, there's no way
it was
she
in,
got,
like, legal
rights.
hell for, like, 2 years. And finally, it came to theaters, and Kevin Smith of Clerks and Dogma and Jane Silent Bob.
Your favorite, yeah.
I love that man so much. He has a theater in New Jersey now in the Atlantic Highlands called the Smod Castle, because he's got the Smod Castle, which is named after his producing partner or whatever. He's got the Smod Castle. And this theater is just like, it could be a really cool theater. They were playing it. And so I went there with Margaret and Bob, and we saw The People's Joker, and I loved it.
Cool.
But I was just like, is this a theater worth keeping an eye on? And the answer is basically no. Like, they just show, like, Garfield's. Like, the newsletter was just like, come see Garfield here. I'm like, I'm not going to see Garfield
Like the animated CGI Garfield.
Like the new Garfield. Yeah. That made way more money at the box office than...
every other movie that's come out since.
Yeah.
Okay. That's,
but,
yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, so it plays. So it's not like this is like a cool draft house kind of thing. It just played that movie and then plays shit movies.
Well, we were looking at like what else is playing. So like they showed 2 trailers before, and they were for 2 movies that were already in theaters. Like you could literally walk out to the lobby and be like, I want to see that instead, and just go there. Like it was like
okay,
for that new
in
movie,
that theater.
Yeah, okay. It's not like, hey, wait down the road, come back here. It's just like, no, like go see. It's very strange.
Okay.
And then the other movies that are sort of more unique are like what looked to be straight to DVD bullshit. Just like a Western with nobody you've ever heard of. It's like, why is this in any theater, let alone your theater? Like, it's just very strange.
And it doesn't... That feels weird.
Like, it was awesome that it showed The People's Joker because it was the only theater anywhere near here that was showing it. But, like, if you're going to be cool and indie and arty and, like, kind of do, like, an East Coast, like a New Beverly, like a Tarantino, like...
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Yes,
to go. Yeah. Like, these are, like, hand-picked. Here's Kevin Smith's Wednesdays or whatever. That's, like, these are films
so I think the point of the place is access to him. Like, he is showing the summer all of his movies. It's, like, 6 movies. It's, like, $69. And I think he's there to introduce all the movies and probably do Q&As or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's... But, like, that's the thing. Like, it's like, if you love him, this is where you get him.
Yeah, but I think that the other half of that is like, and then you do the Tarantino thing that like these are 3 previews of movies that I think are sick before my movie or whatever, and then you play those movies, and like people are like, oh, this is so cool. It's like you do essentially, what this podcast is like you have a film club for people.
Yep.
But this is for me, but I mean for other people.
TBD on that theater right now.
Okay.
I don't know. People's Joker is amazing though. Go see that. The next day, Bob and I saw Evil Does Not Exist, which is by the guy who did Drive My Car, which I think you did not like.
That was the
Japanese movie.
Yeah, fuck that movie. That was a film. That was, as Rachel would say, that was a movie.
This movie is like an hour 45. We were alone in the theater to see this. It's about a town. Okay, here's what it is. A town in Japan has to fight back, sort of. Fight back is a very strong word, because a company wants to install a glamping location.
That's kind of cool. I like the premise of it.
There's a scene in the middle of this movie that's like a 20-minute town hall meeting.
Okay.
With nothing going on, just like people talking, asking questions, and then like, let's get some more answers. After the scene ended, Bob and I, who were alone in the theater, I just turned around and just like, That scene was so long. Like, it was just so long.
Okay.
Movie was great. I think it's very good. I'm glad I saw it in theaters as opposed to online or at home, because I think I would have been like, oh, what's on my phone, blah, blah, blah. It's the kind of movie where I'm like, I don't know, like, I have no idea if we're an hour into this, if we're at the end of it. Every scene kind of could be the ending. I didn't know where it was going to go, but it ends in a good way, so Evil Does Not Exist is great. And then saw Furiosa, which I know you have not seen
I have
yet,
not seen
right?
yet.
But you want to.
My buddy reported back and said he thought it was incredible. I heard it did terribly in the box office.
It lost to Garfield. I mean, who would ever choose that over Garfield? Idiots is who.
Yeah, exactly. Uncultured swine.
Furiosa is great. What's weird, I thought for a while, so you know how, like, when Fury Road came out, people were like, oh, it's not really a Mad Max movie, it's a Furiosa movie. Like, it's more a Charlize movie than a Tom Hardy movie.
Yes.
The first 45 minutes of this movie, Anya Taylor-Joy is not in. She's like, there's a young version of her character, like a young version of the young version she is playing of Charlize, right? So there's like a kid version, like a 10-year-old version.
Okay.
And it's mostly a Chris Hemsworth movie. I'm just like, this motherfucker do it again? Like, did he once again be like, Furiosa? It's like, nah, actually, just kidding. It's Chris Hemsworth. But then, like, 45 minutes in, it pivots. Like, she becomes Anya Taylor-Joy and follows her. She's great. The movie is great. It's not Fury Road, where it's not like 2 hours of breathless action. Like, when there is action, it's incredible.
Okay.
But it's story based. It's great. Like, I think I think you're going to, but see it on the big screen if you can.
I have a friend who recently said this, and you're going to know exactly who it is, but I'm not going to say them by name.
Okay.
We were talking about Furiosa, and he was like, I absolutely want to see that in theaters, unlike Dune 2, which was much better for me to watch at home. And we were like, wow, that is a take that I've heard literally no one else say, and something I gravely disagree with. But I can understand why you would say that if you only watch blockbuster movies and every movie you consume is just a blockbuster movie, but also not. Those were my thoughts.
Dune 2 is a movie I think my friend watched at home, but like when both the Dune movies, the new Dune movies, start with like alien voiceover that's subtitled before it even see Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah.
And my friend put it on at home, and then like at that part, even before he saw Warner Brothers, he's like, I can't. I gotta watch it in the theaters. Like, I can't not see. And then he eventually watched it at home because he couldn't get to the theaters. But like half of a second into a 3-hour movie, just
when
like,
you hear that, just like that very quiet, like that come over you, you'd be like, yes, I'm in the right place. I needed to be in an IMAX theater to see this properly.
And Furiosa was that way too. Yeah.
I don't think that there's a time that I will ever want to watch, like, I mean, there's something to be said about it, but like Avatar, Dune, these kind of movies, I'd never want to watch these at home, right? Like, the experience is seeing it like big and loud and like
to be swallowed up by it.
This is what the theater is for. So yeah. Anyways, guys,
I'm so glad I saw Dune 2 on a plain screen.
That's what I was thinking too, and we all were like, that's interesting take, but sure, moving along.
Tomorrow night I'm seeing In a Violent Nature, which I'm only bringing up now because I don't know. I'm expecting it to be good, but Alex Jacobs, past guest of this show, Racer Trash Guy, edited it. So, major movie in theaters, edited by Alex Jacobs.
Spiffy the dog, right?
Spiffy the dog.
Shout out to Alex Jacobs. What a cool dude. We run into some fucking cool people out here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. And he edited like a fucking. I mean, he is an editor, right? So
it's like a creepy, slow pace, slow burn horror movie. Yeah,
that's fucking sick. Good for him.
Yep. I mean, all the Racer Trash were like Hollywood editors and producers.
Oh,
who, like,
I know.
Got bored during
but
COVID,
I forget that because I think of them.
Oh, right, that's just a guy who like was on my dumb podcast.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it's like that's a guy that was on my dumb podcast that made like these really cool videos we liked, and it's like, oh no, he's like actually a film editor. Like this is. Yeah.
Like Bob was just like, I want to see this movie. I'm just like, oh yeah, my friend edited that. He's like, what? I was like, well, not really my friend. Like, kind of like we follow each other, and he was on the pod. He wasn't.
We've talked. If I message him, he wouldn't like not respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, been playing more Balatro, the card game, which is very good. I'm almost done with like what I'm going to do, so I'm going to move on to something else.
Cool.
Elden Ring DLC comes out in 3 weeks, which I'm very excited about. Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Cool.
But the only other thing I've been doing, I've been watching stand up.
Oh, which one did you watch? Didn't Nikki Glaser just come out with one? Is it good? Did you watch that one?
She does. I have not seen that yet.
Okay.
I watched, there's been 2 that came out recently. One actually comes out tonight at 8 o'clock, which I'm very excited for. but 2 that are in the Joe Perisphere, including tonight. So Dan Licata, who co-writes, I don't think he co-created, but he co-writes, and he writes on Joe Pera Talks With You.
Okay.
Has a thing called To the Boys, or For the Boys? Is it For the Boys or To the Boys? Hold on.
Oh.
It's just an hour-long stand-up. It's called For the Boys. He rented an auditorium, and he had like 300 15-year-old boys as the crowd.
Oh, God. Oh, are the jokes
And like,
for
there's like a
15-year-old boys?
trailer, and it's just like, teachers are the worst people on the planet, am I right? And people are like, yeah! Like, I don't know what's... I'm very excited for that.
That sounds amazing.
That's
Okay.
tonight.
Oh, man. Wow. What
And then...
modern comedy, modern comedy can you do for 15-year-old boys?
I'm going to find out tonight at 8 o'clock on YouTube. It's streaming live on YouTube. Premiering
Awesome.
on the YouTube.
Good.
And then Connor O'Malley, who plays Joe's neighbor in Joe Pera Talks With You, had a thing also on YouTube called Stand Up Solutions, where he plays a character talking about how he created this AI algorithm that's like the first stand-up comedian. And so he's like pitching this to the crowd, and it's amazing.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay.
But I also watched Gerard Carmichael's Rothaniel, which came out a couple years ago, which is like one of the best in recent memory. I watched Kate Berlant's Cinnamon in the Wind. Like, I have a whole list of things that, like, I think the first 2 summers of COVID, I was like cranking through because there's like no new movies, no new TV, and I was just like, there's
old
list of
stand-up
things I'm gonna
specials,
watch these, whatever.
Yeah.
And I basically haven't watched like any since then, so I have like a list of like really good ones.
That's cool.
So I've been like working through these, but yeah, I think that's about it though. Anything else of note that you want to talk about? You want to mention?
No. I think that I rudely interrupted myself into the things that I remembered that you were talking about as I was doing it.
Cool. Our next episode is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and then after that is Good Burger on the Patreon. Remember, again, cageclub.me/vote to vote in the Hall of Fame balloting for Year 5, Too Fast, Too Forever Hall of Fame. We will announce it on the Festivus Special, which releases on both the Patreon and the main feed on June 22nd, which is the day the first movie came out in theaters 23 years ago.
Oh.
For all things Too Fast, Too Forever, go to cageclub.me, facebook.com/toofast2forever, or at toofast2forever on all the platforms. Email us, family@cageclub.me. Check out our Patreon page at toofast2forever.com, store at cageclub.me/shop, and voting at cageclub.me/vote. And come back next week for Tokyo Drift with Walt and Kim. Train fact coming up.
Oh, train. Oh, yeah, we get another train. Dude, I have no fucking idea where this train facts are going.
Don't know.
What the fuck is this thing for? I'm genuinely curious. They don't tell us anything else about it when we go off air either. Like, I'm like, I really fucking want to know. I've been telling everybody that I encounter about their train and, like, what's happening. I'm in suspense. I'm very looking forward to learning more train facts. One day we might actually know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe
not. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too.
And we will tell you all about it
when we see you again.